Today I'm going to share with you some of the crazy things that agents do to get homes sold. Amber Anderson here for all your tips, tools, and all things real estate. And if you have not subscribed, please do so now. But I'm kind of excited to share with you what I think is a crazy thing that agents do to get homes sold. And when you've done everything in terms of the house is priced right, you've done an amazing job with a very aggressive marketing plan from professional videos to social media marketing, and you keep getting this feedback that there's just something off in the home, and you've had a ton of showings, but you're just not getting those offers to get it sold. I kind of have to think outside of the box. So there is such a thing called Geopathic Stress. And everybody's heard of Feng Shui, and you go in the house and make sure the energy's right, but not many people talk about Geopathic Stress and the lines that can potentially run through a house and throw the energy off. Thankfully, I'd gone to a seminar, I heard this woman talk about Geopathic Stress and how important it is. It was kind of in that same realm of Feng Shui. So the story goes a little something like this. Property's not selling. Unbeknownst to me, I had one of my clients come through an open house, and just last week she shared with one of my team members, but Skylark is still sitting there. And she says, it's interesting because I went in that house and something just seems off. Well, ding, 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 ding. It's not the first time I've heard it. So what do? I go, okay, now it's not just me having this feeling. I got to call my resource. So she comes in this past Monday and does her Geopathic Stress testing. And if I can give you a little bit of background to what this means is, essentially there's natural energy lines, a lot of which is caused by water, that run underneath a property. And when you have stress lines that run through a house, we know they run in the earth, but we don't want them to run through a property because those that are sensitive to energy can sense something that others may not be able to feel. And I've had her come and there's never been a stress line, but this particular property on Monday, we don't just find one, we don't just find two, we find 5 stress lines. And more importantly, and the eerie part of this story was that we had an offer. We had somebody come back 3 times, and on the 3rd showing, they were focused on a certain part of the home, and they literally used those words. Something just doesn't feel right here. Well, when the woman who was there testing the Geopathic stress lines happened to go to that same direction of the house and say, something's just not off here. And when she did all the testing, there were literally 3 lines going through that part of the home. So she does her procedure. She literally taps these little sticks into the earth where the stress lines exist, lets Mother Nature do her healing. She checks about an hour later, making sure everything's cleared. And we're supposed to then have this energy that is supposed to now be cleared and healed. And we cleared it on Monday. Today is Wednesday. We had our first showing. I said, how did the showing go? And he says, well, I think it went good. They were here for an hour. He goes, and the agent said, wow, this house really feels fresh and light and like really good energy. Now, I did not prep him for that comment, but this is something that, look, at the end of the day, when you've done everything right and it's still just not selling, when you're as persistent as I am, you're not going to give up. And so I just kind of wanted to share this story with you, a little tip or a trick that you can find somebody in your neck of the woods that has the ability to do this Geopathic stress clearing. And usually it's somebody who does Feng Shui. But I'd love to hear your comments. If you have a similar story, if you've done something so out of the box and it actually worked. But if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe. We'll be coming back every week with more information, stories, and just things that are going to help you, and most importantly, get our home sold. So ciao, ciao for now, and we'll see you next week.